Hi.
Hi.
It's Renee.
And Kent.
And we're going to continue with the third chapter on, is it the second chapter? On the hierarchy. So we discussed the Creator. We're going to continue with the light beings. And so we'll...
what are the light beings?
Light beings are the highest level of understanding.
Are they
and
human?
Truth. Not human. They're solely high spiritual guidance beings. They are beings that work directly with the Creator to release high amounts of information, knowledge on to Source, which is the communication tool of the Creator, not the Creator.
Then they actually have to do with life force.
They also release life force with the Creator. So that permeates throughout all of creation, delivering life force to all life. It creates all life.
And that means they set the parameters in the universe.
That's right. So the light beings work directly with the Creator, and they set parameters for all understanding throughout all universes, and they emit life force throughout all universes.
Yeah, life force energy. So now we know who they are. Who are the ancients? Are the ancients those of ancient Rome or ancient Egypt, or who are they?
No, this is a common misinterpretation that people have when we start introducing them to the information found in the book. And the ancients are not ancient human beings. These are ancient beings that were created in the beginning of time as we know it. And they are ancient preceptors of the Creator. So they're able to communicate directly with the Creator. They're able to tap into Source, which is a high structural energy, informational energy, communication network.
So they're transponders from the Creator to them, and I'm a transponder from them to me.
Correct. So transponding meaning they receive this high level informational energy from the Creator. They interpret it, they simplify it, they diffuse the energy,
and
then they pass it down.
They help us with understanding and knowledge of what is happening to our level of understanding within a universe.
Correct. So they're able to adapt to whatever beings and their level of understanding and deliver an understanding at that being's level.
Well, they simplify the communication so I can understand it.
Right.
Because I can't understand really their knowledge at all.
That's right. And, it works in such a way that they're not going to simplify it to spoon feed us. So we actually have to raise our level, and we have to have some work value, and we have to put some work into it. Kent and I always have homework to do.
Yeah, and it's difficult to meet to a point of understanding. They have to come way down to our level
and
of
we
communication,
have to raise.
And we've got to try to raise as much as we can. And most of the time, it's very difficult to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes
effort.
We
know who they are. I've heard people talk about Source. They can tap Source, and what really is Source?
Well, it makes sense when people refer to God, the Creator, or the ultimate understanding as Source. But the way it's been defined for us is that Source is a communication network for higher vibrational beings, meaning that the higher the knowledge and the understanding, the higher the vibration of that being. So humans can't tap into Source directly. They have to be able to access Source through an energy transponder.
So Source is a high energy field of communication. That'd be the same thing as the area where electricity is developed from coal, say the electrical plant And if we were to tie directly into the electrical plant without going through substations and transformers and things like this, we would probably burn ourselves up.
Yeah, it would fry all the appliances in your house.
So source is a very high form of energy.
Exactly. So it would be like the energy, the amount of energy coming off of an energy plant before it has hit at a substation.
Oh, so then the energy is diffused down from the energy plant to a substation and diffused down again to transformers on the streets, and then goes into the house where it goes diffused actually in the electrical panel where we can use our appliances.
And that's exactly how it works throughout creation. So say your ancients are your substations, and then your other guides that fall below the ancients in understanding would be a transformer.
So we're a coffee pot in general.
Something like that.
Okay, so they are a higher vibration source, is an extremely high vibration within the neuronet of the universal field, which is the neuronet. Think of the neuronet, when I think of the neuronet, it's like the human brain, where all these different parts are going off in a specific time to create communication within our own brain. Well, I understand that the universe is made up very similar. Our brain is made up very similar to the universe.
That's right. That's what we're told. And so this, the whole universe is set up like a structural network of energy that's moving. That moving energy is carrying the light that's mentioned in ancient texts. That is the knowledge. That's the understanding. And it diffuses out into lower levels of understanding. And humans are young culture. We don't have a whole lot of understanding. In fact, we have a lot of misunderstanding and misperceptions that we have been fed. And so they're working on Earth specifically right now to change our level of understanding to mirror truth and to mirror the universal understanding.
Now, I've been to the Council of Nine twice, and that was it. And therefore, they give out limited information, but you cannot go by yourself. You have to go with your guide, and your guide stands right there. And what I vision the Council of Nine, then none of them look like we look like. And I understand that there's 8, I think, there that represents universes.
7 universes.
7 universes.
7, one from each universe.
Yeah.
The 8th is representative of the 7th creation.
And the 9th is the voice or the speaking from the Creator.
Speaks on behalf of the Creator. And I think, this is my own interpretation, but the 7th creation, going back in ancient texts, there's a 7th heaven mentioned. I believe that we're probably talking about the same thing. So when we're studying these concepts, don't get hung up on verbiage. Don't get hung up on words. Start to look beyond the words that we use and look at the concept behind it. And then we will start to see how different philosophies actually mirror themselves.
Mirror each other, yes.
But that we are speaking through different words, and that's where we tend to get hung up on, and that's what causes a lot of our division.
Yeah.
So look beyond the words, look at the concepts.
Yeah, and the Council of Nine gives very brief guidance to your mentor, which you are standing there, and you also here. But it's very brief, and you don't spend a lot of time with the Council of Nine. In fact, it's very direct. They have more to do with universal
understanding and guidance.
Stuff. They don't have that much time to mess with it.
They're setting
us humans
the parameters for the amount of information and knowledge that is available within a given universe.
Yeah, we understand the simplicity that we gained from knowing about the Council of Nine, but we don't understand the totality of the Council of Nine. It's very
Other than what we've
Very
been told.
complex, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've also been told that these are higher conscious entities, and they receive guidance from Source, which is the communication tool of the Creator, and then they release the knowledge to their respective universes.
Yeah, I wonder why they call that one group. We're not talking about the Council of Nine, but it's called the Brotherhood of Light. Why they call it the Brotherhood?
That is a human term, actually. Mm-hmm. And so it's a mouthful. They're called the United Organismal Conglomeration of Beings dedicated to the survival of the universe and all of its beings.
Wow.
That is the true name of this group of beings.
Well, they have a lot of their consciousness is extremely high in the evolution and extinction of species throughout the universe.
So when they talk about survival of universes and its species, all of creation is designed to support the upward movement of knowledge and understanding and vibration with that. So if, say, for example, if humans want to really dig their feet in and not progress and not expand their learning and their understanding in a way that mirrors the rest of the universe in its understanding of truth, then we set our own parameters for our own extinction.
I'm wondering, since they are working, the Brotherhood of Light is working here on Earth for correcting understanding in the human race, would they also maybe be considered angels?
No. The Brotherhood of Light is, well, in a way, all of these higher entities all support the movement of intelligent energy or the light. So they're all part of a structure that's all interconnected through plasmic cords, and it is all designed to move the information energy along these this plasmic network known as Source, and the Neuronet. The Neuronet is designed for beings of lower understanding, such as ourselves.
Okay, we're going to go on to another topic. It's called the Octagonal Precepts. Octagonal means releasing and seeing in 8 different directions.
So there's a lot of energy releases that occur in what they call all directions, which is in 8 directions. So our indigenous peoples, they do recognize the 4 directions, but when we start talking about energy releases, they release in 8 directions. So these energy releases are information energy, of course. So higher consciousness beings that release extreme amounts of knowledge and understanding in 8 directions.
Oh, wow.
To permeate all of
all the universe.
The universes.
Yeah. So if we go from there, we're talking about archangels. When you hear different people will talk about archangels, like Michael and different ones. What part do archangels play in this whole sphere of everything?
Again, they are structural entities, a part of the entire structure of creation that is designed to push informational energy along. So,
well, they push it through the plasmic cord, which is, how does a plasmic cord work?
There's actually nerves. It's a nervous system, much like our bodies, that pushes the message along. It jumps very similar through a synaptic gap from one nerve to the next. It pushes this energy, this light energy. And don't think of it as visible light. It's not a visible light. It's a different type of energy.
Okay.
And so that light carries the knowledge and carries the understanding. So, for example, Archangel Michael is the truth holder of of the earth and,
Yes.
and sets the parameters for truth and the correction of misinterpretations in this sphere.
Yeah, I understand. He holds the sword of truth. And
Yes.
it's a double-edged sword, which people have to think about. A double-edged sword. Why do you need two sides of a sword? That's it. I want you to stop and think about that and do your own research. Why does the sword have two edges? Okay. Outside of that, and you do your own research, higher consciousness of knowledge, the creative energy, all these things cause to teach us, to try to teach us understanding at a higher level, even though we drag our feet and we kick and scream and don't want to go there. They are trying to teach us to become a higher source of thought.
Yeah, so the whole universe is made up of thought entities, and the thought is based on the truths of all of creation. This is the way that the Creator, that God, whatever your name is for this higher being, the Creator of all that is, this is the way that it was designed in the beginning, is the sharing of information. And unfortunately, in our history as humans, we've had a lot of groups, particularly religious type groups, that have seek to limit information. So now is the time that we are going to be going through a lot of changes, and those changes are to bring us to a level of understanding that is going to mirror truth as the way that truth exists and the way that the rest of the universe sees truth.
So throughout this book, they've heard us talk about cause and effect. And to this point right now, cause is to teach understanding. That's the cause, to teach the understanding. The effect is you understand.
The actual understanding gained.
Yeah. So with that,
that ends this chapter.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you for listening.
And Happy New Year. We're going to be delivering a lot more information, so get your seatbelts on. We're going for a fast ride.
Okay. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.